Buddy, a comment on the fact?
Honestly, I think that it went pretty much as I thought it was. I mean, I know a lot of people probably thought that he was gonna. I didn't expect him to come back and be sharp. You know, he was off for 14 months, and we've only had 2 weeks. So, you know, I think he's got the rust off now, and the key now is to get right back into a fight soon, and just keep going until he gets back to where he needs to be.
On a complètement changé, il a complètement changé le style. Il m'a laissé boxer dès mon style à moi, un style que je me sens à l'aise, et puis c'est ça qui a fait en sorte que ça soit un peu plus facile pour moi ce soir.
Question for BoxingShow.tv. This is a question for both Buddy Mcgirt and Joachim. Congratulations, Joachim, first of all. How enjoyable is it fighting and training with, actually just training with Buddy Mcgirt? How enjoyable was it? And Buddy, also the same question. Did you enjoy yourself the first time around?
Oh, definitely. You know, I mean, it was a good 2 weeks. You know, it took us a few days to get adjusted to each other as far as, you know, as boxing. So, you know, like I said earlier, you know, it was a lot of fun. The fight went pretty much how I thought it was going to go. You know, I mean, I know a lot of people probably expect him to come back and look, you know, like he just fought a month ago. But, you know, let's be realistic again. You know, 14 months, coming off a knockout loss. You know, a lot goes through a fighter's mind. You know, people who haven't been down that road don't really understand it. So when you're coming back, you have a new trainer, you train with for 2 weeks, you haven't fought in over a year, and you come back from a knockout loss, your mind and your body just goes through a lot. So I think now he's got the rust off. Now I think that he'll be all right now.
How do you rate him among some of the other fighters you've been training?
I mean, as far as working,
working ethics?
Everything was great. I mean, I really can't complain. And then when we came here, you know, Mr. Mcgirt, you know, the working facility was great. Everything was great. So I really can't complain. I'm waiting to come back. I just hope it's not as cold when I come back.
Hey, Will. And same question for Joachim.
Yeah,
working with Buddy Mcgirt.
Now working with Buddy Mcgirt, I think that's the reason why I win this fight tonight, because you know, like normally I'm always a guy like I like to stay in the rope, and I couldn't stay in the rope with a guy like that because he comes with all kind of form. And I think by training with Buddy Mcgirt, he adjusts this. Sometimes I go in the rope and I get hit one time and I feel it. And I said, Buddy Mcgirt is right. I better stay away from the rope.
And you hear his voice
So I hear his
in
voice.
the back end.
So sometimes I stay in the rope because, you know, because I know the guy is pretty close to me. So he can throw his punch, his power punch. But when I see that he's taking his distance, so I make sure that I take myself away.
Thank you.
Joachim, c'est sûrement pas ta plus grande victoire en carrière, mais à quel point ça peut représenter un soulagement? On sait que tu te remets d'un KO contre Daniel Santos, mais à quel point ça te soulage de revenir dans le ring et de l'emporter?
Ah, pour moi, c'était comme j'étais un peu nerveux parce que ça faisait 14 mois qu'il y a eu la performance. Mais je suis sûr et certain que la prochaine fois va être la bonne. Parce que j'ai eu 2 semaines d'entraînement pour un combat pareil. Et puis, il faut dire que c'est un vétéran, il sait qu'est-ce qu'il fait. Il y a ces 2 semaines, c'était 2 semaines qui m'ont aidé à manger. Je ne pouvais pas rester dans les câbles et manger les coups sur le gars. J'ai essayé une fois, je trouvais que ce n'était pas la bonne solution. Donc, je me suis arrangé pour être plus intelligent.
Joachim, quel était le niveau d'anxiété et de nervosité au moment où tu es monté dans le ring dans les débuts du premier round?
Je n'étais pas nerveux, mais c'est juste que son style, je trouvais juste que son style ne convenait pas tout à fait.
Avant que le combat commence, le niveau d'anxiété, le trac, avant que les premiers coups, c'était à quel point est-ce qu'il y avait un niveau de nervosité?
Pour mon prochain combat, j'espère rester au moins un mois et demi. Non, 2 semaines.
6 weeks with you next.
Yeah, it's got to be, yes.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he's leaving tomorrow with me.
I'm coming.
What's your assessment? Good things, bad things?
I mean, you know, like I was saying, I kind of understand what he was going through. You know, you do one thing in the gym, but when it comes to the fight, there's so much that goes through your mind. You know, and you know, no eyes were on him to say, okay, let's see how he looks now with Buddy Mcgirt. But I'm not looking at it like that. I'm like, you know, like I said earlier, he was coming off a bad loss. He was off for over a year. You know what I mean? So and then he has 2 weeks with a new trainer. So you know, it takes a while. So you know, I was, and then he fought a guy who fought a real difficult fight. You You know what I mean? And I knew it was going to be a tough fight for him. But I think it was something he needed. And I think now he'll be better. You know, like I say, get him back in the ring again soon. And, you know, a few fights like this to get the rust off, get his confidence back, and get into a groove together. I think he's going to be a world champion again.
What did you want to learn from him?
Off the ropes. You know what I mean?
Satisfied with that?
You know what I mean? I was mad at him around, I think, the 7th, 8th round. You know what I mean? And I know he doesn't like when you curse, but I had to. I said, God forgive me, but I got to let him have it at least one round. But it worked because he stayed off the ropes.
Justin,
What did you like? What did you like about it?
You know, when he did things he was supposed to do, like when he worked his jab, it was fine. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, that's all he had to do. I'm like, look, don't look for the knockout. I mean, just work your jab, keep the guy on the outside. And so what if you just beat him with a jab all night? The key is to get the W.